Well, we got the inflation data, CPI headline and core, and it's kind of a mixed bag for me. It was certainly worse than the market expected. Not quite as bad on the headline as I expected. Although I will say I nailed core, right? We talked about core being 5.6. I called 5.6 core and 6.6 headline. I missed on headline, got core correct. But let's talk about the bigger picture. The bigger picture is, one, the downtrend is still intact. I believe headline inflation is now down 6 or 7 months in a row, and core is down 4 months in a row. That is good news. Unfortunately, what you and I have been talking about for 6 months now is playing out in real time. The easy stuff is over. Goods inflation, shipping, things of that nature, that is over. So it is going to be a slow road to hoe. It is going to be, wow, it suddenly picked up. It suddenly got really windy here. So we'll just keep going. Anyways, I got distracted, I'm sorry. So again, the inflation is intact, although it is slowing down. We've done the easy stuff. Now we need to do with housing. We need to do with services, ex-housing. And I think it's about to pour on me. I think that's what's about to just happen. That should make for a good video. See me get all drenched. So at the end of the day, headline was 6.5 on an expectation of 6.2. Let me make sure I got that right. No, actuals were 6.4 on an expectation of 6.2. Last month was 6.5. Core last month was 5.7. Expectations was 5.5. We called 5.6. So kind of where we are at. Now let's talk about some other information. We got Ford eliminating jobs in Europe, 3,800 engineers as they switch to more electric from gasoline. We have people like Bill Smead, talking about U.S. inflation could be a problem for a decade. Now, let's talk about that. You and I have been talking about inflation being a problem for years. 1, 2, 3. Is it possible it's a issue for a decade? Certainly anything is possible. Is it probable? I don't think so. It would really boil down to the Fed, and specifically Jerome Powell, cutting, giving up, which right now I don't think he wants to do. I think he sees the inflation battle as something to be won, not messed with. I think he is going to kill it over time. I really think what Powell is doing now with these quarter point moves, which I'm sure we will get next month and probably the meeting after that, is he's just trying to buy time. He knows the housing data will get better in the summer. So I think there's a meeting in March and another meeting in May. It's very likely we get quarter point moves at each meeting, and then he's hoping the housing data is better. Housing as a part of this session was 0.7% of the increase. So if you take 40% of that out, let's call it 3, you could have seen that the month-on-month of 0.5 would have been actually 0.2. So again, housing is just a big part. It has always been a big part. It was underreported for a long time, and maybe today it's being overreported, but nonetheless, we've got to get through that. I did some research about top destinations for the Chinese as they get out and about, much like the US did last year. Turns out it is Singapore, Kuala Lumpur, so much wind, Chiang Mai, Bali, and then if you're going in a group, it is Thailand and the Maldives. Anybody here been to Maldives? Should it be on my list? I don't know, I haven't thought about it, but it's very interesting. Inflation expectations are coming down, although slightly. Inflation expectations for 1 year is 5%, for 3 years 2.7%, and for 5 years 2.5%. So again, inflation is going to be around for a while. Lots of people like Jeremy Siegel and others have basically told you it was going to fall down in a straight line. It is not. That's not how inflation works. Inflation in goods, sure, it's about 30%, but we still have housing, and we have the big one, services, or AKA wages, that we've been talking about on this channel. We did get some earnings. Marriott beat top, beat bottom, much like we expected on this channel. Travel is up. Coca-Cola beat top line, met bottom line. Unit volume actually fell 5%, so they're just raising prices to hit their revenue targets. San Francisco got an interesting stat from Lance Lambert. Love Lance Lambert. Look forward to our Thursday conversations all the time. San Francisco has given up 42% of the pandemic boom. On the flip side, Chicago has given up 4%. Now, if you know Lance, he uses Case-Shiller, specifically the Case-Shiller 20 index. So that's what he's referencing, San Francisco and Chicago. And then lastly, shout out to Mr. Dan Bird, who's doing some videos for us. As you know, if you follow what Dan is talking about, he believes we are in a secular bull market. And just read an article from a Bank of America analyst, Stephen Suttmeyer. Hope I got that right. He echoes that secular bull market. Again, if you follow our conversations between Dan and I don't really get it. I play the fool in the room, just looking at the charts, much like you. But yeah, Dan's pretty consistent. And I just want to give him a shout out that there's a Bank of America analyst, Stephen Suttmeyer, talking about this bull market, this secular bull market, still has 6 to 10 years to go. So on to inflation, and what is the Fed going to do? I think the Fed was happy to keep the downtrend intact. If we would have gotten 6.6 like I had called on headline, that would have been a problem. We got 6.4, so again, still coming down, but not as much as people expected. I think people are really going to start to expect inflation to slow down. This is what we're talking about. So again, watch the 2-year. I think we get a quarter point in March, and yeah, looks like we are finally going to get some rain. We've been pretty lucky on this trip so far, but I'm just going to give you a quick view of what I am standing behind. That is, those are some storm clouds there. Let's go down. Let's take a walk together. Let's hold on to the railing. Oh, I also forgot. Let's congratulate Cindy for getting her first deal. Cindy, I did not bring a gold card with me. I'll try to do that tomorrow. But yeah, congratulations on your first deal. Let's see what the water looks like over here, or the skyline. Starting to rain. All right, everybody, take care. That was fun.